We are Scenery with Solace.
I'm Alex.
I'm Josh.
I'm Anthony.
And I'm Dave.
And you are listening to
allwnyradio.com.
Shoot down all your shits now. Radio, all your friends. The war is on again. Shoot down, yeah. Melting glaciers with your hands. You scattered through the time like sand. So put up, sat down again. Pick it back up just to win. Put up, sat down again. Pick it back up, you'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win. Shoot the lights out. Maybe they won't see us now. Under cover of darkness, run. They won't find us again. Shoot out, yeah. Melting glaciers with your names. Scattered through the time like sand. So put up, sat down again. Pick it back up just to win. Put up, sat down again. Pick it back up. You'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win.
Yes, indeed, indubitably. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Noah's Ark Show. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. We are live here from lovely and palatial Buffalo, New York. As always, all Western New York radio studios. Give us a call at any point during the show tonight at 716-402-4218. That's our phone number, 716-402-4218. We are live on the Ustreams, on the YouTubes, on all sorts of streams and tubes and U's. And we are live at allwesternnewyorkradio.com. And we are here with our band of the week, Avius Me. Avius Me, welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hey, how's it going?
Very well. How are you guys tonight? We've got John and Willis.
Yep.
Gentlemen. Got a little bit of a late start tonight. What happened? Was there an alien abduction along the way? It frequently happens to us. Willis?
Only about every 3 miles.
Willis, you don't frequently operate a vehicle, as I understand it. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's safer for me or for others, but I'll just go whichever one is easiest, I guess.
So you get out into traffic and it's, look out. Give this man a wide berth.
Kinda. I grew up kind of driving in Austin, Texas, and if you can't drive like Paul Walker and Vin Diesel in that city, forget it.
It's like the state of Maryland. Everybody thinks they're a fucking NASCAR driver.
Or Ohio, or pretty much all of Canada.
Yeah, Canadian drivers are assholes too. We love Canada here in Western New York, but hey, you drive like shit, eh? Avius Me hard rock acoustic from Buffalo, New York. Started up in 2013. Of course, we're going to talk about your deeper pasts than that more recent past tonight. We go a little bit deeper here on the Noah's Ark Show. Avius Me focuses on the duality created through music, utilizing acoustic and electric music to play off of each other, to show the range of emotions that we all go through on our daily life.
You're good at reading.
The name Avius Me comes from a Sumerian tradition. I'm excellent at this. I'm excellent at this. The name Avius Me comes, I could do a different voice if you'd like. What voice do you want me to do it in?
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Jesus. Give me the hardest one you possibly could.
I don't know, mate. We could try talking as if we're, from England and not.
Okay.
I do not want to be
That
a
one's always
British
fun.
star.
The name Avius Me comes from a Sumerian tradition, which dolls were created in the likeness of a person in order to represent what they are or what they wish to be.
Sounds like a really boring documentary.
Avius Me was the name given to a handmade marionette doll made by John Harris, in which he depicted himself as a fallen bird that was rebuilt by a mechanic and his part machine. Okay, now elaborate on that, please, Mr. Harris.
Which part?
Oh, where to begin?
I'm
The whole thing.
The Sumerian tradition of the Mees, obviously they didn't call them Mees because they didn't speak English, but
Right.
But they had this idea of the Mees, and they were little toys that they would carry around, little idols that they'd carry around that
Of
represent,
themselves.
but they represent qualities of themselves that they wish they had. So if you wanted more courage, you carried an idol that represented a more courageous version of you, and it would remind you to be more courageous.
And they called this an Avius?
No, they called it a Me.
They called it the Me. So what's
Yeah.
the Avius?
The Avius is the fallen bird that gets back up.
Oh, okay. Now elaborate on that part.
Well, I've been playing music for 15 years, and in that time, there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of bands in and out of that, and it's just a reminder, kind of, that the whole idea of Avius Me is a reminder that we can't give up. We always have to keep fighting to move forward. Whether it's the best idea or the most popular idea, if that's the idea that we're so bent on, we need to keep doing it.
Oh, that's a great concept.
I'm pretty sure the collective history of our species would show that.
Just keep
yeah.
plowing ahead.
Yep.
So that's, on a side note, your background is anthropology, you were telling me.
Yes, I actually have a bachelor's degree in anthropology from Buff State, as well as a BFA in jewelry design. So my background is a lot in the anthropological.
So
world.
you know of these things of which you speak.
I pretend I do. I like to read.
And you make marionette dolls.
Yeah, I try.
Sometimes.
I tried. That one is the only one I ever really finished.
So also a jeweler, interestingly.
Yes.
A man of many trades.
Yes.
Mr. John Harris, we have here in studio. Avius Me, Noah's Ark Show, all WNYradio.com. So tell us, how does the jewelry fit into the anthropology?
Well, actually, it's funny. I just read a report that jewelry design predates our species, which is really interesting. They found evidence that Neanderthals actually created really rough forms of jewelry.
Interesting.
And so it predates our species. So if we really look back into the hominid history, jewelry predates us. So
Wow.
I originally
Something very primal there then.
exactly, and I originally was an anthro student, and one of my professors said, you have a background in art, you should take more craft classes. And at the time, the new expansion for World of Warcraft just came out, Burning Crusade, and my character was a jewel crafter, and I went, I bet I could do that in real life.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not like gaming nerds or anything.
Not at
Inspired
all.
by Warcraft.
Yes. Very few people can say that with a smile on their face, at least.
So anthropologist, jeweler, how'd you get started in music?
I was actually brought up in a very conservative household. I was brought up very religiously, and up until about 12 years old, I was actually dedicated to the church. I was supposed to be a priest. So I started on piano and I learned organ. Stop laughing. I started on piano and switched to organ, and then started learning guitar for church. And when I was about 12 years old, I kind of left the church, and I got kicked out of Catholic school and all that fun stuff.
Went through the whole gamut.
Oh yeah, yeah. When people ask me why I left the church, I always say at 12 years old I discovered something that changed my life forever, called the vagina. And if I couldn't have that,
Amen.
there was no God.
And if you couldn't wear a condom, you couldn't have it.
Yeah, come on. So didn't. So yeah, so that's how I started into music. Willis started because I went, I need a bassist. I can't find one. Here's a bass. Learn it.
Well, kind of, yeah. Growing up in Texas, me and some friends, we tried starting a band, but every time we turn around, our drummer would just ninja vanish. So we kind of really never was able to get off the ground. In the small town I grew up in, there really wasn't a whole lot of drummers, I guess. But I got up here. I've always been interested in. And
How
He's like,
long have
"Hey."
you been up here, Willis?
I may have to plead the fifth on that one.
It's
No,
an
I've been up here
unknown-
since
It's an unknown quantity.
I've been out of Texas. Let's say I've been out of Texas since 2005.
Okay. So you got your start down there in music. Is that was it a big kind of influence to you?
Yeah.
That style of music?
Actually, I guess like the first something that really got me interested in was the Back in Black album. When I traveled to Texas when I was younger, when I was finally moving down there, it was that and the Bon Jovi These Days album. Those were the only two things I had to listen to. So I was like, you know what? I feel this. This is this. I enjoy this. I'm like, let's see if I can do it. And then he started showing me actually how to play bass better than just going, looking like I'm some kind of redneck on a porch. Apparently, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. And I was actually a lot better at it than I thought. So
He still looks like a redneck on a porch, just now with a bass.
you got a pretty mouth.
So how did you guys meet originally? Was that through the church then, or it was just random?
Actually,
Two dogs having a pissing contest at first, actually.
yeah, that's the best description I've heard.
What's the when John met Willis story?
Actually, it was his ex-girlfriend was my wife's best friend, and they kind of forced us to start hanging out together, and we didn't like each other at first.
Interesting.
But then once we started hanging out with each other separately out of necessity,
you're an asshole. I like you.
yeah, that's pretty much how it started. So it was, we were forced friends at first. Yeah.
The most important question I can ask you today is, tell me about your friend who got paid $2 to show his dick. That's what the people want to know about.
Yeah, that's one of those stories I told way too early.
Pardon me while I die laughing.
Yeah.
This happened, right? You had a friend
Yes.
who was paid to show his cock. There were some young male gentlemen hanging out, good-natured fellas.
Okay, let's start it out with he was working on his Jacob's ladder, right? Multiple piercings on his dick. And
Wow.
he got really, really wasted, and I was totally sober. And two gay guys, two friends of ours, offered him $1 each to see his pierced dick.
I see. It was $1 each.
It was $1 each
for the show.
Right, it was admission.
$1 admission.
Right? So he came to me totally wasted and went, "Do you think I should do it?" And I went, "Absolutely." And since then, I've ruined every first date he's possibly had by telling his girlfriend he's only worth $2.
That's right.
I really hope he's listening.
All it takes is $2, honey.
If he's still listening, then you owe me fisticuffs with lobsters taped to our hands, sir.
Well, and $2 at the time bought a slice of pizza, so he got some pizza.
What's fisticuffs with lobsters taped to your hands?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to actually explain that scenario. I think
It
he
sounds
posted
complicated.
something. He posted something on my Facebook wall because everything happens on Facebook nowadays.
Okay. Sure.
It was something about two guys boxing wearing live lobsters taped to their hands and just duking it out. And I don't know why, but that just sounds like it would be really fun. I mean, I have dinner and a show, not necessarily in that order. I mean, I get to go see a prize fight, and then I get to eat a nice dinner of lobster. I mean,
Not if
I
you
don't
do your job. There won't be any left.
Well, fighting is more about using your it's less about using your fists, man.
Sounds
I got
like a
legs
good
too.
night.
Yeah, it really does.
It's
You
a
know,
good night. I mean, the only thing that could top it all is if somebody gives you a couple bucks to show your cock.
I'm pretty sure that's how it would end.
you know, we could probably we could probably print up some tickets and be like for an after show special, for an extra $5.
$1 cock show.
So it's lobster and sausage.
Hey, man, you never know what you're gonna like until you try it. I don't know.
All right, let's do a live read for this right now, an advertisement for the live cock show. This will be the music right here.
Oh, nice and epic. Here comes the zipper.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you're lonely on a rainy day, you need a little sunshine in your life, golden shower of sorts. You just want to get a glimpse of the Big D. Head on down to the Cock Show. That's right, the Cock Show. It's the place you come and pay $1 and you see a cock. That's right. We won't promise it's big. We won't promise it's small. We won't promise it doesn't have a Jacob. Right. Chances are it will. If you're lucky, you come to the Cock Show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Cock Show happening now on a street corner near you. The Cock Show. The Cock Show.
And this weekend only, bet on whether or not it's circumcised.
The Cock Show. All right. I'd say that was a total success right there. We could sell that. Thank you for the inspiration.
We'll book it at Nietzsche's.
Speaking of which, can we talk about the fight with Kenny?
I don't know if we should talk about the
Come
fight
on,
with Kenny.
let's-
I don't think we should talk about the fight with Kenny. It was a really rough weekend.
It's such a great story, though.
Let's just say, show up for your shows on time, people. Show up for your shows on time, and I won't have to get in a fight with Kenny. All right?
Kenny, the ultimate arbiter of a multi-band dispute. That one, I guess. Right?
Man, Infringement Festival brings out the worst in us.
Infringement's always interesting. Although I love it. I do love it. I've done it every year they have it. I'll still do it. I'll do it forever, man. Every year they have that son of a bitch, I'll be there.
It doesn't look like it's stopping anytime
I
soon.
don't think it keeps growing.
Yeah.
It's getting bigger and bigger. It's expanded out of Allentown now, so it's out. It's gone up Delaware. It's like a virus.
Now we go back to the cock show.
That's right. Oh, we should have.
Nietzsche's. Yeah.
Let's
Infringement this year.
boom.
Yeah.
Totally on board. And 2 steps ahead of you, already submitting
Not that
the
would be a
proposal.
dick move or anything.
But I say we go on right now and we submit a proposal for infringement for the cock show. We say this is our proposal. You pay $1 and you get to see a cock of some kind.
It's got to be performing arts there. It's got to be. Unless we put it in a gallery on a pedestal, like just they flop their dick onto a pedestal, then it's a fine art show.
We would prefer that this happened at the Albright Knox or
This is going
a
to be
fine,
historical.
upstanding art gallery.
All the way up the staircase, just guys with cocks out.
That's right. We can do it in a stairwell or in the men's bathroom or the woman's bathroom.
Or
Whatever.
both, all three.
Yeah, right.
Hell,
We can have multiple shows going on all the time.
cocks
Should we play
everywhere.
Stairway to Heaven at the same time? It was going up the stairs. I'm sure some people could appreciate that, I guess.
I'm sure only some people would consider it Stairway to Heaven.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the
Let's
soundtrack
cater.
of the cock show needs to be Hall and Oates. Am I right? Because your kiss is on my
Or
list.
Barry White if we wanted to go in the right
Barry
direction.
White, yeah, I might be overdoing it a little bit. You don't want to make it too overt.
I think we need to make them go up the staircase in size order.
That's right. There
Yeah.
needs to be rules for the cock show too.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we shouldn't
gotta
play
think
Color
this
Me
through.
Bad either? No?
No.
No. Oh.
But all the way up the stairs, and then you tell people which step was your favorite.
Cocks for $10. You can't beat this price. You go up the stairs, you see one cock at a time. You go back down the stairs, you see all the cocks again in a different order.
And at the end, and whichever guy that was gets a lifetime supply of condoms.
And you give them a BJ.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yup.
No touching the cocks until the BJ.
Only the winner.
Only
Everyone
the winner.
else gets disappointed. It's a not so happy ending.
As if I wasn't going to hell already.
We just got banned from Infringement Festival.
Yeah.
Thank God the FCC can't come after us yet. This show, they're going to figure out a loophole.
Come after us for the cock show.
That's right, the cock show. $1, ladies and gentlemen. Not here on the webcam, though, just to be straight. We're not that kind of a website. We try to keep it within the realm of no, never mind.
That's a pay site coming very soon.
Yeah, we're going to work on that, actually. We're going to add a link to the website.
It's $1. It's just
Cock
$1.
show, $1.
Just
Submit it to Brazzers.
See a random cock.
Yeah.
See a local musician's cock.
The website is cockshuffle.com.
So you go the route of what Pete Wentz, right? And he's all over the place with it now, or was, or whatever.
Dude, this is going to make money. I feel like we've stumbled upon a really, really brilliant idea. This is a gem.
And officially, cockshuffle.com is now sold.
I actually just pulled it up, and there's already content. They're already monetizing. They've got advertisements.
And holy shit, it's Willis.
Hey,
Willis,
man,
how'd
if you
you get
see a
on
good
there?
opportunity.
How do we get back to reality from this? I don't know. Avius Me, the band in studio. Check them out at aviusme.com. That's AVIUSME.com. Gentlemen, let's talk about the duality and the setup of the electric and acoustic, which seems like that's a primary component of your band and your sound. Does that work for you?
Well, first we plug in the guitars.
And then the other ones you don't plug in.
Right, and then the other ones we don't. And
We just talked.
and then we mix them. And it sounds like shit, but the ones you don't plug in, you can't hear anyway, so it's fine.
That's right.
It's not on a song to song basis. Some songs are full electric, some songs are full acoustic, some songs are a mix of both. But
I see.
it's all about the fact that both of us have been metal fans our whole lives. I mean, except for my church time, but we've always been hardcore metal fans. The heavier, the better. But the problem is, you're driving home at 2 o'clock. You're driving home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes metal isn't what you need pounding in your ear. You need the softer stuff, and it's hard sometimes to find a band that can do both.
Right, right.
You do have those Slipknot occasional songs, like Vermilion Part 2, and Circle, and Snuff, that are softer songs. But on the most part, you're kind of always getting metal from metal bands. I've played in metal bands. I've played acoustic. I can do both.
Am I the only one hearing Tenacious D fucker gently going through my head when you're talking about don't always need the hard stuff. Sometimes you need the soft stuff. Am I the only one right now?
Yes, you are.
As you were saying, like for the soft and the hard for the metals. There's a band I found them on accident called Ghost Brigade. There's a song called Into the Blacklight. I know I've made John listen to it.
Yeah, he has.
It mixes it. It's nice, soft. It's somber, but I don't know. It's just got a tremendous feeling to it. And then there are parts where the singer gets growly and you're like, fuck yeah, it just sometimes that's what works best. You get that, cover that full range of emotions that we have to go through, and it's a winner.
Yeah, and having the acoustic and the electric, in various shades, you can kind of show a lot of texture that way.
Right, you saw it a lot with the grunge movement in the 90s, where some bands would be more acoustic, some bands would be more electric. They would mix the two, but it wasn't as often done within one song. It was more often done, this song's soft, this song's heavy, kind of back and forth, where we really try as hard as we can to mix the two at the same time.
So is that part of the songwriting approach then? When you're working on a song initially, this song is going to be acoustic or it's going to be electric forever? Or do you mix them up where one may start acoustic and then it can become electric? Or
I kind of write everything on acoustic, no matter what.
Okay.
I find that switching from acoustic over to electric is much easier than switching from electric to acoustic. It's hard to go both directions.
Yeah.
So if you write it starting acoustic, it's easier to build it up, rather than it is to start it built up and then break it down. It's a lot harder to go in that direction. And the only album by Godsmack that I consider passable is Other Side, where they take a lot of their electric stuff and they break it down into acoustic. And it's really interesting to hear that, but it's really hard to write an entire album going that backwards direction. So I think they all start acoustic.
Right. Now, do you have it in mind though when you're writing it on the acoustic that you're going to launch this into an electric song, or I'm going to keep this one acoustic? You just kind of see how it goes song for song and take it from there?
Yeah, we play it by ear. There's some songs that we've done that, we have a song called Before that's been set up for our debut album for probably 2 years now. It was one of the early songs we wrote, and it was originally written really soft acoustic, and then we got in the studio one day and I started playing on my 7-string electric, and it sounded so heavy that we switched it into a heavy song. And now that we're actually getting ready to record it, we switched it back to acoustic.
Okay.
Because that's what sounded best, at least to us. It got more of the emotion of the song. It's not about, we want to make sure everything is both electric and acoustic. It's about what the song needs. Some songs have that energy and that angst behind it, and it's hard to really convey that acoustically. But some songs they need that more emotional tone, so you stick with more acoustic on that.
AllWesternNewYorkRadio.com, Noah's Ark Show. This is Noah Gokey here with Avius Me, live in studio, 716-402-4218. That's our phone number. And, of course, you can watch my face on the old YouTube. You can watch Avius Me if you go to Ustream.com, and you can listen to the audio. AllWesternNewYorkRadio.com. That's a mouthful to get through.
Yay bumps.
Yay bumping.
Radio bumps.
So you guys, what do you think of like a Days of the New thing? That's what it makes me think of, like an acoustic metal kind of sound.
I wouldn't steer far away from that description, actually.
Yeah.
Days of the New is an awesome band. So is Tantric, which is the kind of the later version of Days of the New. That is a great comparison. We do get heavier than that.
Because you have the electric side, which Days of the New keeps it strictly acoustic,
right,
or kept it strictly acoustic.
And the same thing with Tantric, which was a later project by some of the members of Days of the New. They kept it primarily acoustic. We are not afraid to go electric.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a fear of ours. Electric has its own dynamic issues and complications, especially in recording. But that if that's what the song requires, that's what the song requires.
I saw Days of the New once. The concert was Days of the New, Jerry Cantrell, and Metallica.
90s.
I'm not sure what else screams 90s except a pair of Jinkos.
Man.
Yeah, and I
Oh, you're not wearing your Jinkos today?
I did not know them well before that. I was not familiar with them very much, and I saw them live at that show and watched the whole set, and I was like, man, these guys fucking kill it.
Yeah.
They rock.
Yeah.
I went and got a bunch of their CDs, and I like Days of the New.
Touch
I
Peel
like that
Stand,
setup.
man, was one of my songs back in the day.
I mean, like you said, there's a certain amount, a certain threshold that you can't cross without going into electric. However, it's great with a band like that can do it acoustic and still get pretty heavy, doing just acoustic stuff.
Yeah, if you listen to Tantric's song Down and Out, which is really a faster pace acoustic song, and that violin in the song just picks up and really gets the rhythm going. That influenced me a lot on how I was going to use violin into our music, because I play violin on the album and I play guitar on the album. So the way they use it so rhythmically and so powerfully, it's still acoustic, but it has that kind of gypsy vibe to it, which is a lot of fun.
Well, let's talk about the album for a second. Quest for Cardio? How do you say that?
Actually, that was our original plan for the album. The album has now taken a whole new turn.
Oh, this is the same project as
right. This is
it's mutated.
Yeah, it's evolved. We actually.
So what was Quest for Cardio?
Quest for Cardio was just the debut album, and it was. The problem was we recorded it like 2.5 times. We actually finished the album a couple of times. And
where were you doing it?
I have my own studio that we recorded in.
Cool.
But I was never happy with the results. If you've ever seen that episode of Metalocalypse where they're working on their new album and Nathan Explosion goes, "Not brutal enough," and then deletes the whole album, like that's what I did 2.5 times on this album. And what we realized was it wasn't the material necessarily. It was
Right.
the material was so rehearsed and so worked that it lost kind of an environmental feel to it.
Lose that energy. Really.
Exactly. That's the best way to put it. Is it lost the energy to the music. The music was there. It was exactly as it was written. It just lost this energy to it because it was so worked.
That's hard when you have a project that you've the material you've worked out really, really well, and you've got to practice, top to bottom. You know it like the back of your hand. You get in to record it, and it's hard to get that kind of raw energy feel to
Right.
it. You know what I mean? Without it just sounding kind of blah.
Right. So the new album that we've been working on getting ready for, we're actually starting on in June, is called Wake the Dead. And Wake the Dead is a concept album in a weird way, in that the concept behind it is that we're actually recording in 6 different locations on the album, and the 6 locations are actually haunted locations. So the locations are being shut down overnight.
What are the locations?
And we're recording. I can't say yet.
Oh,
I can't say.
We're not at liberty to
Right,
discuss
the
that.
because-
House of Seven Secrets.
Well, because we're also doing a documentary on the album.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing a lot of field work, talking with anthropologists and things like that in the areas. But I will say we're recording in Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo.
Very cool.
So we're stretching it out. We've got some really cool locations that no one has ever recorded in. And we're shutting down the locations overnight and recording in a haunted location. And we're really hoping that if ghosts exist, our music gets them going.
$2, I'll show him my cock.
I don't think the ghosts have money.
Listen, guys, if this ghost music thing doesn't work out, we still got the cock show.
We still got the cock show.
No, this is a fantastic idea, though. I love it. Going to recording in the 6 haunted locations. That's going to be epic.
And you're not going to be able to avoid the energy just by being in these locations.
Right.
Right. Even if it's material that you've rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed, when you're in an old, without giving anything away, an old theater that was built in the 1800s that has never had audio recording done before, yet has 100 years of ghost stories to it, you're not going to be able to help but feel creeped out and feel like you're in this dark, creepy environment.
Yeah.
So we actually got some new cameras for the documentary. We've got some drone cameras so we can fly them around the theaters and stuff.
Wow.
See, this is where I'm supposed to say I'm just the bass player. I already feel like I'm in a dark, creepy environment.
Yeah. So, and we're hoping to get some cool cameos and stuff, some celebrity cameos on this album. We've worked with a lot of really cool musicians over the years, like Freddie Herrera from Everclear and Sal G from Stained. Some really cool guys that we've worked with that we're trying to get in on this album at some point.
Nice.
So
got to get them at one of those
they're
recording
all
sessions.
they're all excited about the recording sessions. Everyone is going nuts over this. And I mean, I've always lucked out in being able to pull off. We do for my jewelry design company, we do a lot of photo shoots all over the place, up and down the East Coast. We get permission to shoot in places that no one has ever had permission to shoot in, or at least not in recent years, had permission to shoot in. So I'm really good at pulling really cool permissions out of people.
Nice.
And we've definitely pulled that out for this documentary and album. Be in some locations that no one has ever gone and done before. And it's more like the owners of those places are just excited to see what happens. And, we've been talking to a couple guys from a really well-known ghost hunting TV show on Travel Channel. I won't say the name, but I just gave it away.
That's awesome.
But we've been talking to those guys, and they're super excited about it because they've never heard of anyone trying anything like this.
Yeah.
If they're, my view is music is a universal language. It is a way to communicate without speaking. Just the music in and of itself. If you get a good drum beat going, you're going to get every animal within 100-mile radius pumped up.
Well,
so
I guess the easiest way to sum it up is music is what feeling sounds like.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
but if we start getting everything riled up like that, I mean, all that emotion and feeling going on, I'm sure we can go Riley from Boondocks and start chucking chairs if we feel like it too.
See, and I want to know if we get any disembodied voices or anything, because we're also going to set up recorders all
I call
over.
that the
EVPs.
EDP.
Yeah, EVP.
EVP.
Yep. we're going to set up recorders all over the location. So we're actually going to be able to use recorders from all over the building to not just record in a studio type setting, but we're going to be able to have these recorders all over the place. And I want to know how to credit an EVP.
This was Mike A. He died in 1972.
Yeah, like
He had
what
a
do we-
lovely singing voice.
What do we do in the CD booklet on that? I don't know. So yeah, so it's going to be an interesting thing to see.
Sorry, I snuck a photo in right there.
That's all right.
Selfie.
It worked out well. It's a good one. That's a keeper. Good
So
job, guys.
yeah, but so the new album is in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I
and
mean-
all
A
the
great
songs
concept.
and all the songs will have some relativity to that. We'll have some relation
let's-
to the
Wake the
concept.
Dead.
Well, let's look at the beauty of it. I mean, the album's going to be called Wake the Dead. We're going to, dance around and sing and whatnot in a bunch of haunted places.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure some Mr. Crackish, might go down, man. I can only hope.
I hope we don't wake up a troll.
Well, at the very least, I mean, you hear stories about like John Bonham recording, down a hallway in a bathroom, stuff like that, to get a different energy and get a different sound on that. If nothing else, you will accomplish that. Your
Right.
music will be reborn through these locations that you're kind of doing it at.
exactly.
Which is fantastic. That's a great way to kind of capture it. It's in these haunted locations, it adds this little bit extra to it,
Yeah, and I think the big deal is what are the musicians feeling when they record it? Because that's
Sure.
really what the
Yes.
people listening to it are going to feel.
That's right.
Not going
So-
to lie. I hope Scared Shitless is not one of them.
I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it.
A voice just starts singing over top of your music. They're like, all right, you take this one, bro.
If I-
And I'm going to go, you're out of key. You're out of key.
It's
Yeah,
off
last thing
key,
I
it's
need to
off
be doing is
key,
trying
bro.
to drop the bass line on the joke, and I hear a shh, just let it happen. Whoa, what?
So yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with some of these locations because some of them are totally benevolent. There's never been any problems. Some of them are fairly dark and kind of twisted. And
Oh, wow.
we're actually going
Can you
to
give us a hint?
we're going to be recording at an asylum.
Candyland is not a hint.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to be recording actually in an asylum, and we found an asylum with an actually padded room. That's gonna help us out.
Yeah.
It's gonna help us out quite a bit acoustically. But you can only imagine, this is an old 1850s asylum. So, you can only imagine the shit that went down in that building.
Yeah,
and in the
literally.
padded room. You're going to record in the padded room? Like,
Yeah.
that's the place where the really bad shit went down.
Yup.
People just locked in there
And-
losing their
And we're gonna
shit.
put Willis in there alone with the bass, and we're gonna turn the lights off. And just have him go at
Oh,
it.
shit.
Okay. Other things.
So,
One of
but-
them includes taking a nap.
Yeah,
I've got pillows all around me. What the fuck are you thinking?
Willis is totally unfazed by this prospect. He's like, put me in there. We'll hang out. It's
until
good."
we get
Right.
there.
Seriously, just I'll take a nap. Nothing's gonna bother me there. I'm asleep. What's gonna happen? What's the worst that's gonna happen? I'm gonna wake up dead? Nah.
It's such a great idea, though. I agree. You got to cross promote this thing. You got to have like the Travel Channel show. Come on, like come do some filming of this.
We've
you know what I mean?
actually talked about them coming and doing a hunt before
Yes.
we record,
Yes.
so that they can get the information, and then as we record, they'll collect more information to see if we're even doing anything.
see if you have an impact.
Right.
Right.
Because you never know. I mean, really, what is science but poking and prodding? Really, that's all it is. Is let's see how much we can piss this off,
yeah.
to get a result. So that's we're not aiming for that. Actually, what we're aiming for is sympathy and empathy. A lot of the topics we talk about in our music are come down to a mental instability and the idea of death not being the end of things. So we may not get an evil response. What we may get is a sympathetic, response because of empathy. And that's kind of what we're aiming for. We're not aiming to piss anything off, and I'm not 100% a believer that every place that's haunted is haunted. So there's a chance that we go into some of these places and don't see anything. They may just be stories that are told,
Sure.
through time.
Sure.
But I bet an asylum is going to be pretty fucked up.
I'll tell you, when I was in high school, I'll tell you a quick story. This is a blast from Noah's past right now.
You don't have a fade in for that? Come on.
I should, right? I should have a dun 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 dun. Woo, 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 flashback. Noah's past.
When
When I was in high school, there was a haunted house called the House of Seven Secrets. Okay, of course, I had older brothers, so they knew all about this. And the legend was, if you knew the seven secrets, a white van was going to come and take you away. Okay, like there was this crazy white van murderer that lived or like appeared out of the House of Seven Secrets, and he would come get you. So we're going down the back roads one day and hanging out with some buddies of mine. We're like, we're having a beer, we're smoking, we're hanging out, whatever. And my buddy goes, hey, you know what? We're not far from the House of Seven Secrets. You guys want to swing over there and check it out? We're all like, oh, shit, man. Yeah, let's go. Let's go over there. So we go over to the House of Seven Secrets and we like pull into the driveway, right? We're looking at it. It's like this old boarded up, creepy old house. Middle of nowhere, We're looking at it. We're checking it. We're hanging out. We get out of the car. We're like walking around. We get back in and we're chilling for a second. My buddy goes, hey, guess what? I know the seven secrets. You guys want to know? This is like the beginning of a horror movie, right?
Right.
He goes, I know the seven secrets. Really? Seriously, and I'll tell them to you guys. And I was like, oh shit, man. Okay, I'm gonna write this shit down. You know what I mean? So I get out, I rip a pack of cigarettes in half and write down the seven secrets, which I still have this. I still have the cigarette pack. He starts going through the secrets, right? We get to like 3 or 4 down the list, and we're driving down the road at this point, and we're in the middle of nowhere. Keep in mind, this dirt road, nobody around for miles. We see a car coming down the way. What is it?
A white van.
A white van.
Oh, shit.
And we go, oh my God, it's a fucking white van. Okay, so my buddy floors it. He's cruising down the road. He floors it. And the white van stops, turns around,
oh shit,
and comes back. And we're like, oh my God, are we in a fucking horror movie right now? And he's like, no, don't worry about it, whatever. And he's giving us the rest of the secrets. So I'm writing down all the secrets, and here comes the fucking white van. Like, we think he's gone, and then all of a sudden we take a turn. We're like down a thing, and all of a sudden white van's like right behind us. Wow! We're all like, what the fuck, dude? Buddy floors it. We're like going down the way. He goes and gets on the highway and leaves, and it like follows us forever, man. But we escaped the white van. It didn't get us that day. But I figure someday when the Grim Reaper comes a knocking for old Mr. Noah Gokey, he's going to come in a white van.
I hope.
Because I have this.
And I hope it says free candy on the side.
I was going to ask, was there free candy anywhere? Maybe hugs or something?
I'm not going to broadcast it because it would be like The Ring. Okay, this is all just a great movie setup, isn't it? I'm going to pitch this to some people.
Well, our first location is in June. We're actually doing down in Olean. There's the Forest of Illusion, which we're actually going to record outdoors, which is going to be really interesting acoustically. But it's an old forest that the folklore behind it is that if people, since Europeans discovered the forest, obviously Europeans didn't discover the forest, they just found it. Natives lived there first, but Europeans started disappearing into the forest. And the reason is they were getting lost. And the story goes that you see people walking further ahead. So you try to catch up to them.
Yeah.
And they lead you further into the forest, and you never come out.
Brutal.
So we're going to record in there, see if we can get some illusions of ourselves to show up and help us record.
Now that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Doesn't it?
Like the fact that I'm walking through the woods isn't the bother, it's the dragging the body.
Let's go, Bonus.
Yep. So that one's going to be fun. So that's going to be one of our more acoustic tracks that's going to be done there. I think trying to record a full electric set in the middle of the woods.
That'd be
really
tough.
And there's no campsites or anything in those woods. So there's no place to plug in. So we're going to have to figure it out before we go in. We might have to bring some solar power with us on this one.
This is great, man.
Yep.
Ambitious project.
Yep.
I love it. I can't wait to hear it, man.
I can't wait to see all of the pain in the ass recording.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it either.
Either that, or it's going to be like the Blair Witch Project. You guys are going to go to the first location of the lost forest there. Nobody's ever going to hear from you again. You'll be gone forever.
And in a few years, they find our demo tape.
The stuff of legend. The greatest music.
Dude, that would be the
heard.
best way to get your career off the ground, wouldn't it? Recording all these haunted locations that disappear.
All of these musicians are dead.
And then come back like 10 years later. Oh wait, that was an episode of Scooby-Doo. I swear to God.
we could do the two.
That was totally an episode. The band released. They were okay. Even worse, they were a ska band, but they were a ska band. They recorded an album, and then they all died in a plane crash. And their album went platinum because they all died.
I love it.
But they didn't actually die. They faked their death.
Yeah, I'd prefer to go to the Tupac.
And
route,
then
but
on
that's just
like
me.
on like the 10-year anniversary, they came back as zombies to try to get their album sales back up. And of course, Scooby-Doo found out they weren't really zombies. Yeah, that's gonna be us. I totally stole that idea. Didn't realize it.
Minus 10 points to Gryffindor for a Scooby-Doo reference.
Fuck you.
No, I'm just kidding.
At least it was the newer Scooby-Doo. It was a-
All Western New York Radio.com, 716-402-4218. You can give us a call. It's the Noah's Ark Show. Noah Gokey here with Avius Me, Mr. John Harris, Mr. Willis. Willis, what's your last name? Dudley.
Yeah.
John Harris, Willis Dudley, the guitar and bass masterminds behind Avius Me here in studio. We've got a lot to do tonight. We've got a lot to get to. We're going to do a song you guys have recorded here for us, right? We have one studio track, and then you guys are going to plug in and do a live jam for us.
Yep, I'm going to do a solo acoustic set.
You're going to do a solo acoustic set?
Well, one song.
One song?
One song.
Can we convince you to do more?
Potentially.
Excellent.
There are other songs. So
that's what I like.
The whole album's written.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. Noah's Ark Show. What's the song about here that we have? What is it? Monster Inside Me.
Yeah, it's actually two tracks put together. There's an intro to it called Greed. Which is only like a 30-second song. So I just attached it onto the song. And then there's Monster Inside Me. And Greed is kind of about how fucked up the world is. And Monster Inside Me is actually about a friend of mine who committed suicide about 3 years ago. And years after he committed suicide, I finally saw a bunch of our old friends. And they kind of filled me in on some information of the last days leading up to his suicide. So this song is actually about his suicide. And so it's a pretty tough song.
Wow.
We'll wake some dead on it.
Right on, man. Avius Me, the band of the week here on the Noah's Ark Show. Dig it.
Show me your greed and I'll show you me. I think I'm better off alone. Show me your greed and then buy me peace. World you left without a soul. You lie and you steal, thinking it will lift you up. You whine and you deal, but you'll never get enough. away. My room today, silence you take my breath away. My heart is torn, my shoes are worn, thanks to this storm, I am reborn. Thinking I was dead, beating in my head, thanks for the words you said, I'll come to again. I got this one more song, then you for too long, Doctor was all wrong, yes we were all wrong. Breathe it out and breathe it in, I'm finally screaming. I'll never be what you want me to be. I'll never be the monster inside me. Just pull my flesh back and watch how I bleed. I'll never be the monster inside me. I'll make a final choice with a screaming voice. I'll cut out all the noise with just one more choice. I'll pull the trigger now. Did you ever wonder how? Did you take this final vow? I'll take a final shower. I'm taking every pill. I felt an evil chill, a very desperate kill. So I've had my fill. Thanks for the words you say, but I won't last one day. They all think I'm okay. There's no other way. Breathe it out and breathe it in. I'm finally screaming. I'll never be what you want me to be. I'll never be the monster inside me. Just pull my flesh back and watch how I bleed. I'll never be the monster inside me. The monster inside me. I could never see you would ever follow me. I could never see you would ever follow me. I could never see you would ever follow me. I could never see. I could never see. I could never see you would ever follow me. I could never see you would ever follow me. I could never see. I could never see. I could never see. I could never see. I'll never be what you want me to be. I'll never be the monster inside me. Just pull my flesh back and watch how I bleed. I'll never be the monster inside me. I'll never be what you want me to be. I'll never be the monster inside me. Just pull my flesh back and watch how I bleed. I'll never be the monster inside me. The monster inside me. The monster inside me. The monster inside me. Left me standing all alone. Left me with this bag to hold. Painted black just to show I'm not guilty. Wanted back. Filthy, violent, and cold. Surface cracks begin to show who you are. Sinister, you're a selfish one. You know, up to the sky, up to the sun. Oh, up to the sky, up to the sun. As things fell from every side, there were questions, there were lies. Who's your brother? Who's your friend? Who do you put your trust in? If you even have it now, see the actions, pour it out of your heart. Take control, time to build back up. It's up to the sky, up to the sun. Oh, up to the sky, up to the sun. covered in black, painted in gold. Nothing to have, nothing to hold. Whoa. Nothing to have, nothing to hold. Covered in black, painted in gold. Nothing to have, nothing to hold. See, you want this, who you want this, no. See, you wouldn't make this, take this, break this, no. See, you want this, who you want this, no. See, you wouldn't make this, take this, break this, no. On the top now, always looking down. You think you got this figured out. Each other, pat them on the back like you've done something that ain't a fact. You've done nothing at all. It's a revolt. It's rising up. It's like an ocean deep till it cuts. Sitting on a tabletop now, from a perch you always looking down. It's got 4 legs, we'll cut them out. Better keep your eyes on the hills. Pretty soon you're gonna feel your empire fall. You got 1%, I got 99 friends. You do the math, we're gonna burn it down. You got 1%, I got 99 friends. You do the math, we're gonna burn it down. We won't give up now. All of you on the top now, better look around. You never see us coming now. Better watch your back. Reach and claw and we'll scratch until we burn this whole thing down. You got 1%, now I got 99 friends. You do the math, we're gonna burn it down. You got 1%, I got 99 friends. You do the math, we're gonna burn it down. We won't get up now. Burn it down. Stretching, quiet, fighting in mind until we burn this whole thing down. You got 1%, I got 99 friends. You do the math, we're gonna burn it down. You got 1%, I got 99 friends. You do the math, we're gonna burn it down. We won't get up now.
All WNYradio.com. It's the Noah's Ark Show. We are here live, Buffalo, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thank you for listening. New music there from Dark Eyes 55, our good friends. Mr. Aaron Anson lives just down the road. Crank calls us. Sometimes it's fantastic. We love him. And of course, new music from Avius Me right there before that, which was incredible, man.
Thank you.
That was a great song, Monster Inside Me.
Try to make it a little heavy.
That's when you guys recorded on your own then.
Yeah. That's actually off of the original version of the album. The stuff I deleted, that was one I kept.
Okay. I could see why. It's a great version, man.
Yep, it's a great place to start when we're working on the album this summer.
Yes.
Especially with a new drummer that's been keeping him trained onto what we're doing. You got to hand him the notes.
New drummer Chris Graham.
Yep, that's right.
So Chris not with us tonight.
No, Chris is actually in Syracuse.
Oh.
So he's a good old friend of mine. I've known him for years. So kind of forgot he was even a drummer. As
much as you may love him, you are free to motherfuck him for not being here tonight.
Yes.
We do allow that.
Yes.
So.
But I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, fair enough.
Not with him.
It is your option. My friend, we have you wired for sound. We have your beautiful green turquoise guitar there all set up and ready to go. Tell me about that guitar for a second.
It's actually an exotic wood ESP. I love this guitar.
It's gorgeous.
It was I bought it on St. Patrick's Day a couple years ago.
Very fitting.
But my company, J5 Design, our colors are green and brown. So I went, ooh, a green guitar. I think that'll work. I've always been a fan of ESPs, so.
Okay, we're going to have you do a song here live for us in studio.
Sure.
Well, what are you going to do for us?
We're going to do a song called The Joke.
The Joke?
Yeah, The Joke. Willis is flipping me off because this is his favorite song to play, but didn't bring his bass.
Willis, if you had the acoustic bass, man, we could plug you right in. It'd be so easy. What happened? It was hard enough to get the car going, I guess, right?
Yeah, hard enough.
Yeah.
So, but this is probably one of our older songs going on to this album. We've been playing this for a couple of years.
All right, Avius Me, Mr. John Harris going to play us a solo tune right now. All WNYradio.com.
Ooh, cutting out a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
cutting out there. What's happening? Give me a little bit more guitar. Seems okay. Maybe just be careful.
Yeah, with that input right
might
there.
have been hitting the couch there. We're on a couch here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's a couch. That's what happens.
Relax at all Western New York radio.
You don't play too often on a couch.
Let's give it another try. John Harris, Avius Me.
Call me up to say I can't be there today. You called me up and let me down. When you called me up, it was more than any other day. Followed it up by letting me down. And the sun will rise and I will die. It's not worse than relying on a ghost. And I fell for the joke. When push comes to shove, There's angels up above, or a Bigfoot man that lives in a tree. Well, you're all alone, getting drunk or getting stoned, forgetting a friend like me. And the sun will rise, and I will die. That's not worse than relying on a ghost. And I fell for the joke. I fell for the joke. And the sun will rise, and I will die. That's not worse than relying on a ghost. And the sun will rise, and I will die. That's not worse than relying on a ghost. And I fell for the joke.
Oh, John.
There you go.
Awesome, man.
And it didn't cut out.
Didn't cut out at all. It stayed true the whole time, my friend. Great job. Awesome jam there.
Thank you. That's one of our favorites to play live. That's kind of been the one we've pushed the most, I think, as a song.
Yeah, you know, I can feel that kind of Days of the New element involved there. You know, it's a metal-ish acoustic, which I love.
Exactly.
But you have a great control over it. That was the sense I got from that song. You really know how to rein it in and to keep that under control enough where it's not getting outside of the box too much, where it's not going to break it. You're not going to pop the bubble. You know what I mean?
Right. It's all about keeping the rhythm to it pretty true.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and we've played with it with other rhythms of like, you know, going for that little southern kind of style to it.
Or almost like an old 50s song kind of thing.
Exactly. Like House of the Rising Sun kind of thing.
Yes, yeah. House of the Rising Sun. Sure. Very cool. Any way we can convince you to do another song, you must do another. You sound so great, John. We've come this far, my friend.
Let's see, I could do Guilty.
Or a cover.
I don't want to do a cover. I'm going to give someone else credit.
Fuck covers. I want to hear your
your
original stuff here, man. Let's do it. You got more.
All right, yeah. I'll do another one. I'll do Guilty, which is another song going on.
All right, three more.
About one more, maybe then I'll consider the last one to be, but I don't want to do that one.
All right, we'll talk about that one when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, fair enough?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Mr. John Harris of Avius Me, live in studio. AllWesternNewYorkRadio.com. Check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on the YouTube, make sure you go to the Ustream because you can see John doing this stuff right now.
It's not as difficult as it sounds.
That's right. That's right. You can see his gorgeous green guitar and the man going through the range of emotions, really, that I see on your face as you play. It's incredible.
You have to live the song every time you play it.
That's it.
You know, and I think that's one thing where a lot of musicians lose out when they play.
You're right. John, you've got a great outlook on it, and that's so it. You've got to live it every time you do it.
Exactly, and you know what I was always told was you need to do it like every time is your first and last show.
That's right.
Every time you play it, it's your first and last time.
You know, that translates over to life in general. You know, every day is your first and last day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of look at
I mean,
life
potentially playing right here on the radio could be the last time.
Sure.
You know, I play.
Yeah.
So you never know, but you've got to live the story every time, because a big part of music is its relatability. People relate to it, whether they relate to it musically, by note, by rhythm, or whether they relate to the lyrics. It's all about the human relation and I guess the human condition. There's the anthropologist in me.
Right.
But it's about the human condition, and that's
You're right,
what
though.
people relate to.
Music is it's a huge part of culture and a huge part of civilization and mankind. You know what I mean? So
Yep, even if
I
it's
see
beating
the
on a
interrelation.
piece of wood with a stick. You know?
Sure.
So and it's one of the things I've noticed. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. I live in the serious world, so I like to watch the funny world. But you see one of those things where some stand-up comedians kind of get too big, and their jokes become somewhat unrelatable. Because they're talking about, oh, my limo's tire blew. And you're like, I have no idea what that's like. I've never been in that situation. I doubt I'll ever be.
Unrelatable.
Right.
Perfect word for it.
So when you write music, when you play music, it has to have a level of relatability. And I think that no matter how big or how little you are, you have that built into you.
Yeah.
So you just have to get in that mindset every time you play, is that you're trying to make it like, this is the first time I've played this song. And it helps that I remember the first time that I played a lot of these songs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Harris, Avius Me. What's this tune called?
Guilty.
Yep. Tell us about Guilty. Where'd it come from?
It actually comes from, I have a really nasty brain condition. It's a really rare form of epilepsy.
Okay.
And it causes me to have seizures from time to time, but not like seizures for lights or things like that. Really what triggers off my seizures is overwhelming stress and anxiety, which I'm a musician and a small business owner, so I have a lot of. I've actually gotten pretty much control over it in the past couple of years, but for a while there, it was bad. And there were times where Willis here, would come into the jewelry studio and I'm unconscious on the floor, from a seizure. And it was pretty nasty for a while. But when it first started, all the doctors treated me for schizophrenia, not for epilepsy. They thought, because the seizures start out with hallucinations. So doctors actually thought I had a form of psychosis. So they would treat me for that. And what you end up finding out is that treating somebody for psychosis when they have epilepsy is counterproductive. It actually causes
Makes
damage.
it worse, yeah.
And it led for some really difficult times in my life, being medicated for things I don't have, and being treated like a mental health outcast.
And the side effects for those medications are insane.
Just terrible. You take an antidepressant, which actually, when you're not depressed, makes you more depressed.
Right.
So it was really bad. So this song, Guilty, is actually about kind of struggling through it and doing what you have to do to get through it. The chorus, the first line in the chorus is, I'll piss away the tears. It's not even a point anymore to cry about it. You just piss it away and it's done. And you just got to move beyond it. So it was one of those songs that I used to kind of as a rallying song, I guess, for myself.
And I mean, you were talking about living the song when you perform it. I mean, I don't want to say it makes it easy, but it helps. It has to help when you're writing material that hits so close to home. It's such a, it's a deep vein within you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And especially when it comes to your own health. I mean, there's no way to escape it. Yeah. You live those health problems every day.
Sure.
So it's easy to put yourself back in that mindset because it's never really gone. You just find ways to cope and deal with it.
Right.
But it's never gone. And my brain condition is never going to go away. It's going to be here for the rest of my life. And a couple years ago,
you just have to manage it.
Right. And a couple years ago, doctors told me I wouldn't make it to 30.
Wow.
So, and I'm 28.
Damn.
So, do the math. So, peak of kind of the seizures and everything. I've gotten control over it since then. I doubt their estimation's right. I doubt I was right to begin with. I don't trust doctors much.
And it's like, you're not going to make it to 30, but don't be stressed out about it because that's going to make it worse.
That's going to make it worse. Then you won't last till 29.
Yeah, don't be stressed out about it at all. Don't worry.
So
wow, that's tough, man.
But it's one of those things I've actually learned when I start to have like a panic attack and I start to feel it coming on, I can actually meditate out of it now. Which for a while there, I went about a year without a seizure when it used to be I'd have 1 or 2 a week.
Wow.
So
Through meditation, you
right, through meditation, and just through meditation, not drugs, not not therapy, just through meditation.
Any certain kind of method that could help anybody else out there
It's
listening?
really difficult to meditate when you start hallucinating. It is very difficult to do that.
I'm sure.
And we're talking, sometimes the hallucinations would be something as simple as you smell something or you taste something that's not there. But sometimes it would get to a point where, you would see things crawling on the walls and things like that. So it's really hard to meditate when you kind of feel like you're not in the real world anymore.
Sure.
So
how do you bring it back then?
It's difficult. And if I could give
Supreme
someone
focus, right?
Exactly. And if I could give someone a pointer, I couldn't give it because I don't know. For me, what I do is I focus on my heartbeat. And usually I focus on kind of playing a game of getting my heartbeat back down. Because once my heart starts racing, then I know there's a problem.
Sure.
So I focus on getting my heartbeat down, and kind of everything else in the world just disappears while I do that. And it brings me back down to a healthy level. So, I went from a time where I was in and out of the hospital maybe every other week or so, because sometimes the seizures would cause bleeding in my brain, and that builds up pressure in your brain, and then it causes all these other issues. So I went from that to being able to meditate out of it, 99.9% of the time. I think
that is incredible.
Several months ago, I had my first seizure in a year, and then I've been good since then.
Wow.
So, and it wasn't even really that bad. I thought it would build up and it would be a really nasty one. So when I couldn't meditate out of it, I thought it was going to hit real hard, and it didn't hit as hard as I expected it to. So I'm keeping control. But that's what this song is about, is kind of rallying, going, yeah, I know that things are bad, but you've got to find a way to fix it.
Guilty, the song. Mr. John Harris of Avius Me here live in studio. Take it away, John.
Just making sure we're not cutting out. I can't sleep, and I can't breathe. The voice inside is killing me, and I can't take this anymore. About things I implore. Feel the chemicals rushing through my life's open door. I'll piss away the tears, fight off the fears. Stop my ending to be. Can't you see? You poison me, and I can't let go. 10 milligrams Lexapro to kill off everything I could know to know, and I lack the will. 250 milligrams Seroquel to rid me of the man in my windowsill. piss away the tears, fight off the fears. Stop my ending to be. Can't you see you poison me? Can't you see you poison me? Can't you see you poison me? I'll piss away the tears, fight off my own fears. Stop my ending to be. Can't you see you poison me? Can't you see you poison me?
Awesome.
And there you go.
John Harris, ladies and gentlemen. John, when you're on stage, I mean, that's a high anxiety kind of situation. You know, you're going into a performance when you go on stage and your heart's definitely going. You know what I mean? You see the fans, you see the crowd out there. You want to get up, you want to rock it, you want to do the shit like you've practiced it. You know, how do you keep it under control? You know, from your point of view, do you meditate before shows? You know, how do you keep it in focus and stay under control when you do it?
I do usually meditate before shows, but I have to say that I actually don't find being on stage that stressful. It's not really that anxious of a thing.
You feel it's natural. You feel calm up there,
right? And like, generally speaking, I mean, the one thing I'll say is I've tried a lot of things in my life, and I'll say that there is no high that is comparable to being on stage and
Right.
being in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And especially when a crowd really gets into it. And I think the best example is the first show I ever played. I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was 14 years old, and I was playing in my first real band called Eternal Nights.
Eternal Nights.
Yep. And Nights spelled as in, you know, Knights
K-N.
from Europe. Yep. There you go.
Like Knights of the Round Table.
So we were actually just three of us. There was three of us on guitar and me singing. And I had never really sung on stage. I never played guitar on stage. And we were just playing one song.
What was the venue?
One song. It was a coffee house situation. It was a charity show. And it was everyone was sitting in like comfortable chairs and shit out in the crowd, which was really cool. But we're sitting up in front of them, and they all look like a judgmental panel up there. It was probably easily like 75 to 100 people in the room.
They're gonna put your heart on a scale against the feather.
Exactly.
And weigh your soul.
It was insane. And I remember getting on stage and starting to play. And I remember the song we played. Hold on, you'll know it.
Oh,
Bush Glycerine, yo. The only song we played on our set was that song.
How many of us have had a girlfriend who that was our song?
That's actually my song with my wife.
Oh
No.
my God!
No.
Willis, is our hand in the air for
No,
Willis?
no, there's not,
That's
no.
still 2 out of 3.
But especially considering it's actually a really depressing
That's
song.
the song with your wife.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But so we played this song, and I remember I was so terrified, and I was the youngest one in the band.
Right.
The other guitarist with me, the other rhythm guitarist, was 2 years older than me. The lead guitarist, who was just playing like a really simple, you know, it was just more melodic over it, and he was 4 or 5 years older than me. He'd been playing for years. So I was the least confident and the youngest one, and yet somehow I was the singer in the band. Probably 'cause I was the only one that had the balls to sing. in the band. And I remember singing half the song with my eyes closed and just terrified of that crowd in front of me. And I remember when I got to the bridge, I opened my eyes, and seriously, the whole crowd was standing up, singing along.
Nice.
And like, I'm actually like tearing up talking about it, because that was the best feeling in my entire life, was that feeling of being so petrified, but being so accepted.
Yeah.
You know,
they all embraced it. Everybody was up
Yep.
on their feet.
And I
right
mean,
there
this
with
was
you.
a crowd of people. It was every race, every religion. I mean, it was just a cross section of America in that room.
And that's
I
your
mean,
first show.
And that was my first show, and it was absolutely
Wow.
insane. And ever since then, it's been kind of the hunt for that.
yeah.
You know, every time.
You're chasing the dragon after that.
Yeah, and like and we've done it. We've done it. We did that show at the Forum where I ended the set. It was my first show back playing acoustic shows in a long time. I kind of stopped after I was about 17.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was about 27, it'd been about 10 years since I'd done an acoustic show. And I actually, someone watching that you're waving at? Okay. So it was about 10 years since I did my last acoustic show. So I was really excited to do it, but I ended the set with an Avius Me song called "Thank You," which is a song to my family and to my friends, you know, who've been so supportive over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents and my in-laws and a bunch of my friends were all crying at the end of the song. And I'm like,
Oh, man.
I did it again. Yes, it is possible. So it was
And
really cool.
you
to
did
do
it
that.
with an original. that
Yep,
time.
and I did it with an original that no one knew and no one
That's
was
hot.
singing along with because they didn't have to, you know.
That's great, though.
So it's really cool to be able to do that, and that's why, like, being on stage, it's stressful for like 10 minutes leading up to it,
Right.
you know. But once you're on stage and once you get playing and once you get kind of comfortable, it doesn't matter anymore. You're already doing it. You might as well finish it out and have some fun.
Like our show at the Steampunk Festival.
Oh yeah, we did a show in Medina, and it was just. Yeah, our drummer at the time, who we thought he'd be the coolest. I thought Willis would be the most terrified of that show, and our drummer was actually petrified. He was scared shitless, and it was hilarious because him just sitting down on stage, he's like shaking. I'm like, how the hell are you gonna play drums like that, man? What the hell? You know,
Hopefully the shaking is in time.
yeah, and like the only reason we lost him as a drummer is because he joined the Marines, and I'm like, you were less
Oh, wow.
scared to join the Marines? What the hell, man?
Afghanistan, nothing. Stage.
He's a
oh my God.
he's a parachuter in the Marines now.
Wow.
I'm like, you were less scared of that shit than playing on stage,
dude, you're gonna jump from a plane in the sky
What
with
the-
a gun strapped to you, and
and you're packing
rickety
your own
parachute.
parachute.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, Jesus.
Oh Jesus!
So yeah, I mean, he was scared shitless, but it's one of those things that getting on stage is the hardest part. It really is. If you can get on stage and start, you're good to go.
That's it.
It's the starting that's real tough, and always set yourself up with an easy first song, because
Right.
We have Anna's listening from Canada, so I don't know if you want to say.
we got a Canadian listener, Anna.
Willis, get right in that microphone, my friend. Grab it.
Which one?
The one right in front of you there on the table.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, that one works.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Say hi to Anna.
Hi, Anna. You frickin' Canadian.
We already got our Canadian jokes in a bit. Hey,
We love Canada.
Yeah, I'm constantly getting messages from her on Facebook, and my boy Aaron Johnson. He's probably going to text me and be like, "Dude, you shouted me out." Like, yeah.
Shout outs
Saying
around.
hi. I mean, we actually have some friends that are listening in right now.
All right, great.
So that means a lot to me. Thank you, assholes.
Thanks for listening, guys. John, this last song.
I don't know if I want to do it.
Come on, you got to do it.
Peer pressure.
You gotta
I don't know if I want to do
Please.
it. Well, not only is it just a really kind of difficult song to keep up with sometimes, but it's really slow. I don't know if that's perfect for radio.
I think it'll be perfect. I think you sound great. The combo of you on the air right now, it's fantastic. I think we have all these listeners right now watching and listening. They want to hear Mr. John Harris do another song because you sound so great.
All right, I'll do Before, which is pretty slow. This is the one that I told you we originally recorded really soft, really acoustic. Then we made it really heavy,
Okay.
and now we're bringing it back.
Now
to
you're bringing it
soft.
back.
And actually, we're not even doing an acoustic. We're going to do a piano version of it on the album.
Wow.
So, which is
Now, how did
pretty
you
cool.
originally write it? Was it piano?
Guitar. So what
Acoustic
I'll
guitar?
play right now is exactly the way it was written.
Very cool.
But it's the album version is going to be on piano with some electric backing to it. We actually have a full choir that's going to back us on it too on the album.
Now, what's the song about?
Before is actually about the worst seizure I've ever had. Put me in, it was in my jewelry studio in Lancaster. And I was in the middle of working on something and I had a seizure and blacked out. And no one could get a hold of me. So I ended up with 6 or 7 people rushing out to the studio along with ambulances and police and all of that. And before is kind of the story of what happened in that seizure, I guess.
Yeah, not for nothing. There's some certain telltale signs when shit's about to go down with him.
Like I can't spell.
Yeah, like his spelling starts looking like, you know,
If I'm
Twitter
texting-
and shit, you know.
If I'm texting, it doesn't make
So
any sense.
I knew something was funny, so I told his wife, I'm like, we need to rush out, and I started calling everybody I knew in the area. One of them actually ended up being the old drummer, Cal. He was also
At the time, he was a firefighter, yeah.
volunteer firefighter. So I was like, you need to break laws, and you need to do it now. Get there. So he wakes up to a full house. So I imagine I did.
I woke up to our drummer Cal on one side of me, and a police officer on the other side of me. And the first thing out of my mouth, I swear to God, we still laugh about it to this day, is the first thing out of my mouth was, "Did you turn the gas tanks off?" Like, and both the officer looked over at Cal, and Cal went, "That's the first thought you have?" I'm like, I don't want to waste gas, man. You know, I was in the middle of working. I didn't want to waste anything. I didn't want the place to blow up. You know, so, and then he went, "Hold on, I'll check." And he runs over and he comes back to me and he goes, "What way do I turn it to turn it off?" And I'm like, "Righty tighty, lefty loosey." Like those are like the first words out of my mouth after waking up from a massive seizure that knocked me out.
Wow. Before the song, Avius Me, the band, Mr. John Harris, the man himself, here in studio doing the song for us now. Dig it.
If I woke up in a sobbing sweat and you said to me that I was dead, I wouldn't be shocked at all. If he came to me with eyes of red and he said to me that I was dead, your name would be my final call. So close your eyes and dream of tomorrow. There's no more lies and no more sorrow. You've let me out before. You carry hope into my head, though I know that I will soon be dead. It's the greatest gift of all. My life is hanging by a thread, but with you here in my bed, it's the greatest gift of all. So close your eyes. And dream of tomorrow. There's no more lies, no more sorrow. You've let me out before.
Avius Me, Mr. John Harris, the song before.
There you go. You got it. You got it out of me.
Ah, love it, man. I love it.
You got to wait for the rest of the album. That was just the tip.
I cannot wait to hear the rest of the album. Recorded at all these 6 different haunted locations around Western New York.
It's going to be crazy. We even have that location picked out for that one. It's at an old theater, which is going to be awesome. So we needed a place with a nice piano for that. You know, I don't have that great. I have a keyboard, but I'm really opposed to using keyboards to replace a piano.
Not to mention, since you're a System of the Down fan, all I can hear in my head is going, "Hey man, look at me! I'm rocking out on the radio."
Yes, I am a Psycho System of Down fan. Get it, Psycho, groupie, cocaine,
crazy.
Crazy. Good stuff, man. Now, John, I understand that you've brought us a gift, of course, ladies and gentlemen at home. Each week, we ask every band that comes to visit us here on the Noah's Ark show, we ask them to bring a special knick-knack. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come over while I'm talking. I'm going to walk around, disengage that guitar. Go ahead and
good idea.
Unhook. You're good?
Oh, shit. I'm feeling special. He's walking over now, guys.
So, this is fucking epic. We ask everyone to bring us a little knick-knack. The reason being, I have a jar, or a jar. I have a shelf of knick-knacks right over there. And different bands have brought us different things over the years here on the Noah's Ark show. We have a book entitled How to Make Love 6 Nights a Week. Chloroform Coulier brought us. We have a bottle of Captain Morgan that Aqueous drank while they were on the show. We've got the Dirty Smile Dirty, the Randall and the Late Night Scandals Shametopus. We've got a Magnum condom that Big Tree Road brought because apparently they had no use for it. They said It's a Magnum. We're just going to leave it with you, Noah. And I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. So we got all these things. What did you guys bring us today?
I actually brought you a necklace.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that.
And it's going to be one of the necklaces I think we're going to feature on some of the artwork for the album.
Oh,
so
it's got a coin or a pendant?
It's a coin. And when you look at it, it's actually a skull.
Wow.
Somebody needs to pull out the Nathan Explosion and be like, "That's brutal." Brutal.
All right, I've got it. I've got the pendant. It is a skull. Look at that. I'm going to show it to the viewers at home right now. See? Oh. Oh, freaky, baby.
It's a skull to wake the dead.
Oh, my.
Wow. It's mounted on a nice necklace here, potentially maybe made of hemp.
Hemp, yes, you are accurate.
Fantastic. All right, that's good. That fits right in with us here in the Noah's Ark show. All right, I'm going to throw
Do
it back.
Do not smoke the necklace.
Now, you can put it on the shelf anywhere that you feel appropriate or you see a good space there. Go ahead, my friend.
I'm going to let Willis do that.
How about your
Willis is going to pick
Cthulhu
the spot.
cousin over here? We could drape it around your Cthulhu cousin.
The Shametopus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's putting it on the Shametopus.
Why not, ladies and gentlemen?
There you go. Shametopus has a necklace now. That
is a great knick-knack, man. Thank
you.
you.
I like saying the word Shametopus.
Shametopus. They bring shame to you and your family.
That should be a band name right there. Shametopus.
I love it. All right, well, we're getting to the final moments here, gentlemen.
Right. Has it really been that long?
It was only supposed to be an hour with you guys, and look at this.
Yeah, wow.
It's been forever. I counted.
Full 2 hours, man.
And it's great. You guys.
We're
you
that
guys have been-
entertaining.
You've been fantastic. You've been fantastic guests.
It's,
So final
it's easier than
thoughts.
playing a 2-hour set.
We'll go around the room.
Right.
Willis, I will start with you. Your final thoughts, my friend.
On
what?
yeah, really on what? Give me
Anything. I mean, where to begin?
yeah, really. I mean, give me a direction to go. in.
Dinosaurs.
I can't wait to see Jurassic World. A pack of raptors at your command. Hello.
Pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs. That's the one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do they actually have chips implanted in their brains where the
No.
humans control them?
Here's what I've heard for the
That's a good
explanation.
idea.
Is that it's Chris Pratt, right? Who
Yeah,
plays the
it's Star
Game
Lord.
Yeah. He
Star-Lord, okay.
it's supposedly, from what I understand, talking to some people involved with the movie, it's actually that he's their pack leader. The reason why, if you remember Muldoon in the first one, who got killed by the raptors, even though
Yeah.
he tried to control them,
Yes.
it's because John
We're being
Hammond,
hunted.
right? Because John Hammond required that he was present for the birth of all dinosaurs, not Muldoon.
Clever.
So they
girl.
didn't imprint on him when they were born. But Chris
Oh.
Pratt is present for the birth of these raptors, so he is their mother. They imprint on him, so he
Oh.
controls them. But apparently, they still do get nasty and gory in the new movie, just not with him. So
All
I'll
right.
give that one on dinosaurs.
Right.
Noah's Ark Show final thoughts, Mr. John Harris.
Well, we got a show coming up on May
Please
15th.
tell us.
May 15th.
Where is it?
At the Forum. I'll be opening for Sean Danielson from Smile Empty Soul.
Very cool.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Going to do an acoustic set. So, because he is.
Just you.
Just me.
Yeah.
You solo.
Just me solo.
May 15th,
Yeah.
the forum.
The reason I generally do the acoustic set solo is I like to read the room. And it's very hard to read the room as a band because you have to know so much more material. So I like to read the room and be able to kind of just wing it.
Cool.
And it doesn't work that well when you do a band situation.
You strike me as a guy who would be able to read a room and kind of do the right thing.
Yeah, that's how I end up covering things like LMFAO and
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake,
What
Taylor
was that one,
Swift.
Katy Perry.
Taylor
What the hell?
Swift. I covered
Yeah,
Taylor
it
Swift.
was one of those female singers.
Yeah.
So it's hot.
I covered Taylor Swift, LMFAO,
I love
Justin Timberlake. Yeah, I like to just throw random stuff in there that I feel like that's also how I covered Garth Brooks. Is I saw that the crowd was really digging some of the older stuff.
It's because fucking Garth Brooks kicks ass. I mean,
Yeah.
you
And
also
it's
gotta
Thunder
understand, I grew up-
Rolls, man. I mean,
yeah, I grew up in Texas, so country is a part of my playlist.
Thunder
Yeah,
Rolls
sure,
is like the
sure.
darkest country song Garth Brooks has.
You know, I go old
Rodeo's a
school
good
with
one.
country, though. I like
Yeah.
outlaw country, man. Merle Haggard and Waylon
Oh
Jennings,
yeah, well,
Johnny
absolutely,
Cash,
yeah.
David Allen Coe.
I mean, God, if I count,
Hank the Third.
if I could count how many times I've covered A Boy Named Sue, it's ridiculous.
Really,
I love covering that song.
it's a good one. To
Yeah.
do. Good one to do.
It is one of my dad's favorite songs. So whenever my dad's at the show,
Great song.
I like to cover that song.
Yeah, it is for me. It's kind of like I want to say like the '80s. Not that I don't appreciate the older country. You go too far back and then you just bore me. I mean, I like Hank Williams original,
Travis.
but it was like the '80s and '90s of the country. You know, you had your Clint Black, your Randy Travis's,
Yeah.
your, Vince Gill,
Vince Gill,
Garth Brooks.
Reba.
They made country
But
pop.
one of my favorites actually was a band called Sawyer Brown. They have a
Oh,
song
yeah,
called
yeah.
Some Girls Do. The line out of it is like some girls don't well, I ain't high class, but I ain't white trash. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. And it's like, how can you not like that line? It's like, you know.
All right, gentlemen. Willis, John, I cannot thank you enough for coming in studio tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving us a whole 2 hours. We feel special.
Oh, are you kidding me? My pleasure, man. You guys are great. Fantastic jam, John. Seriously. Thank you guys so much.
No group hugs. Sorry.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, maybe.
I'll see you around.
Yeah!
Maybe in a week.
Oh, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I will not see you next week. We will be off next week. That's right. I'm leaving the goddamn country. I'm out of country. I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to go lay on a beach for a week, drink tequila, and a whole shitload of cerveza, motherfucker. You know it. So do not tune into the Noah's Ark Show next week because we will not be here able to tune in. However, we will return the week following. We'll be back better than ever. The Noah's Ark Show brought to you by WNYRadio.com. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, all WNY Radio, home of the cock show. You pay $1 and you see a cock. It'll be some shape and some size. I'm not going to promise the shape or the size because it's going to be a shuffle. It's a cock shuffle. You're going to go up the stairs. You're going to see many different cocks. And if you're into cocks, you will be satisfied for your dollar paid. I promise you that. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because we got Sippin' Scotch coming up next live on allwnYradio.com. And then that's it. That's it. We're gone. We're leaving. We have to go. And we have to end now. But I thank you. I thank you for listening. I thank Avius Me. Check them out at aviusme.com. Find them on Facebook. John, Willis, good men both. Thank you, gentlemen. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, tequila, baby. Tequila. Good luck. And, hey, while you're out there, have fun.